All right, so this is a Bant tempo deck. My deck title of my editor here is Bant Tamiyo. This is basically a blue-white with a small green splash deck. So the cards we're splashing green for here are Sylvan Advocate, which is a good defensive ground pounder, 2/3 Vigilance early that eventually turns into a 4/5 with Vigilance that powers up our Lumbering Falls and our Mutavaults in the mid to late game. Then we've got a few copies of Tamiyo Field Researcher here. So last week we had played a Bant Elementals deck that, while the core of that Elementals deck wasn't particularly great, Tamiyo Field Researcher really overperforms. I'm interested to see how she does here today. Field Researcher is also notably very good with Vigilance creatures, because you'll note here on her +1, she says whenever they deal combat damage till your next turn, you draw a card. So if you Tamiyo plus on Advocate, and you attack with Advocate, and then also block with it, that Advocate actually gets to draw 2 cards. Same thing with other Vigilance threats like Archangel Avacyn here. So we've got all the good blue-white tempo cards that this format has. We've got Brazen Borrower, Reflector Mage, Spell Queller, Teferi, Raveler. Ojutai's Command was a card that was reasonable the other day in a different blue-white deck that we played. Reflector Mage on 3, bounce your threat into Ojutai's Command, counter it on the way back down on 4. Felt super reasonable. So let's go ahead and hop on into a league here with this Bant tempo deck and see how it goes. Yeah, this is a deck where we're frequently going to be able to keep this card in play. I've got some Selfless Spirits here as another evasive threat to not only protect our Spell Queller, but also draw cards with Tamiyo. It's another good 2-mana creature that we can bring back with Ojutai's Command as well. Yeah, Selfless Spirit is a roundabout way to let Ojutai's Command counter things like Supreme Verdict or Anger of the Gods, which is nice. I think Sylvan, I'd be kind of surprised if Sylvan Advocate doesn't end up having a home somewhere in this format. I think it's a very reasonable card. It's like a slightly above rate for its cost, and like any game that goes long, it becomes very above rate. Yeah, see, it looks fine. A little sad that we're on the draw, but definitely a keep. One of the things looking at this deck, while the curve in this deck looks okay at a glance, one thing you will notice that this deck does not have any 1-mana spells in it, which could definitely mean that it's just like going to be too slow for this format. It's something to think about while we play our games out. It's a good one to draw after they thought sees us. So depending on what else they do here, we could see like Selfless Spirit on 2, tap land Selfless Spirit on 3, Tamiyo on 4, plus draw 2 cards. That's real good. Makes our flying threats much, much worse. This is a 4/4 flying vigilance vehicle here. They can remove a loyalty counter to fire up. Red Mage Frank, thank you for the 24 months of support and for the very generous tier 3 sub at that. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, I'm interested to see where beyond where Theros takes Standard. There hasn't been hype overall around Standard. Feels like it's still a little bit on the low side. I'm interested to see if Theros changes that. Pioneer's also been really good. I appreciate that, Frank. Pioneer's also been really good if you haven't dipped into that. If you're someone who had enjoyed Modern in the past and then it fell off a little bit for you, I think Pioneer is in a great spot to rekindle some of that joy. I should have played Mutavault this turn, maybe. I don't know. Getting the tap Shockland into play was valuable. I assume we're going to lose Tamiyo Field Researcher here after they read it. Yeah. Spell Queller is a wonderful draw. We'll start by attacking for 4 here. You're not, that is an apt description. Moto is Moto. Brazen Borrower is incredibly powerful. So outside of Glory, if they play something that costs 4 or less here, we'll be in a good spot. Glory Bringer could potentially leave us feeling a little bit bad. Yeah, that's a dragon. So I assume they're going to try and eat the Advocate. We'll sacrifice the Selfless Spirit here. Reflector Mage is not a bad pickup. Really like to draw a land next turn, so that way we can get the Sylvan Advocate up to a 4/5, and then Reflector Mage plus hold up Spell Queller. Really hoping they cast something we can Spell Queller this turn. It would be ideal. Yeah, Mutavault being a 4/4 is great. One of the reasons, 26 lands is a little bit high for the curve in this deck. One of the reasons why I'm on 26 is because we need to fit in colorless lands in our 3-color mana base. And like, even if they have a removal spell for Spell Queller here, I have Selfless Spirit in play. Advocate with Nissa is interesting. So part of the problem is that, like, by the time Nissa is on 6 lands, a lot of the time they're dying anyways, and Nissa also frequently leads to your lands dying, which is a problem. Yeah, like, Nissa gets your lands killed, whereas, like, creature lands, you have more control over what's dying and when, right? Oh, I guess they were just dead, huh? I didn't have to show them Reflector Mage. Whatever. They're actually dead without me having the 6th land there too, right? Okay, so what am I doing here? They're like big red. Aether Gust is probably good here. How many Deck-In Stones do I want? Probably at least 1 more. Time Raveler's probably not stellar here. What do we think of this plan? This seems pretty okay. Yeah, you got that. They animate before we play the new one, so that way we don't have to fumble around with it. This seems fine. Archangel Avacyn is especially good in the face of Glorybringer. It's just like flashing your indestructible blocker and kill their dragon. And like untap and have a threat of your own. Something worth noting here too is that another one of the reasons why I'm playing for Selfless Spirit is that Selfless Spirit gives us a really fine controlled way to kind of dictate when we flip our Avacyn to get her backside trigger, which is a pseudo sweeper. So not only is Selfless Spirit good with Spell Queller, but it's also good for helping us flip Avacyn when we want to. Tokyo Whirlwind, thanks for the 2 months. I appreciate you sending your Prime back this way again. Welcome. Yeah, that seems fine. Stream Decker not support flip cards? I have no idea. Supports flip cards just fine. Are you using it inside of the Twitch app? The web browser definitely supports it just fine. I don't have my phone handy to check the mobile app. So, do I play a 2-drop here? Twitch on PC? You mean like you're using the Twitch app on like the PC Twitch app? As opposed to just using a web browser? I think I just Selfless Spirit here. There could be merit to playing this tapped, so I could Spell Queller on 3 guaranteed, but hopefully we just draw an untapped land, then it'll be fine. So we sack this in response because then their Bone Crusher Giant doesn't resolve and it goes to the bin. Hey, Happy New Year to you too, Manjo. Manjoey, I appreciate the 7 months. Welcome back. Yeah, that seems fine, right? We'll just pass back here. Hold up Aether Gust for a Chandra or something this turn. Hoping to run some lands off here. We're on 26 lands, so hopefully there's some lands coming, huh? I put Chandra on top, unsurprising. That's not the land I wanted for Christmas. So, hoping to draw an untapped land next turn. So that way, we're going to Spell Queller Chandra this turn. And then next turn, I expect them to have a removal spell for Spell Queller. And ideally, we'll draw a land so we can Ojutai's command back Selfless Spirit to protect our Spell Queller. So, untapped land here is ideal. Hopefully they play like a Glory Bringer here. We just like Ojutai's command, counter it, bring back Selfless Spirit. You can get a 2-for-1 out of this no matter how we slice it. So in response to this, I'm going to go ahead and return Selfless Spirit to play, draw a card. Kind of build our own cryptic command here. Cryptic Command's a lot worse when it costs 4 chat. They have Lightning Strike as well. It's a little unfortunate. So hoping to just run off some lands here for the next couple turns. Hey, Derpface, Happy New Year to you too. Thanks for the 9 months. Welcome back. Scrap Heap Scrounger, okay. Think I'm end step bouncing Chandra here. Again, just sitting here hoping to draw some lands. 26th land deck. If we get to, like, deploy Advocate plus Brazen Borrower next turn, we could be okay. What's it called? Spell Queller would also be a good draw here. I'm going to deck this in stone and then play Sylvan Advocate. Yeah, classic. Hoping to draw a land that our 26 land deck. Draw 5 drop. Feels Magic Man. Untapped land. Come on. Done with the 2-year climb, now on to 4. Throw this at more Pioneer Feather. The big smash here, the better. Thanks, Talrand. I appreciate the very generous tier 3. Thanks for keeping me around. I think the play here is Tamiyo, tap, Scrap Heap, and Heart, hit Chandra for 3, or for 2. Just like, ice these for a turn. If I take another hit from the Heart of Korean, I don't think we're recovering. This gives me an opportunity to draw a land next turn. So that way I can get Avacyn down to block the Heart. Buys me some reprieve, pressures their Planeswalker. If they don't kill Advocate here, Tamiyo gets the plus on the Advocate and draw an extra card, so it'll give me 2 shots at a 5th land next turn. Down 6. Chain Whirler, sure. I think that's probably lethal no matter how I cut it. Needed this to be a 4/5 this turn, right? If Advocate was a 4/5 here, we could probably be okay. But it's not, so we're not. Yeah, stumbled just a little bit too long. I know there were lines that, like, leave us not dead on board that turn, but in general, that game's pretty done. I don't think we have lines to actually come back. It's possible that I'm not supposed to leave in all my Selfless Spirits and Brazen Borrowers just because they're a Goblin Chain Whirler deck. Yeah, this is fine. Avacyn would make the Advocate indestructible. It would, but then the opponent's Chandra deals 2 to us, and then we're taking at least 3. So we are in fact just dead there. The line to not being just dead involves Ojutai's command gaining 4, but then we're just like chump blocking and we can't do anything. Hey, thanks for the 12 months, Fonzenti. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. If we get Chain Whirler next turn, I'm going to feel real bad. Hopefully 2020 is better for most of us. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. This is the 3rd game of this match. Well, they haven't just slammed Chain Whirler, so maybe that's not happening. They have a Lightning Strike here as well. Slash plus Strike. Could be real gross. Second Aether Gust sounds great. What determines playing the Kaladesh Fastlands versus Ixalan Checklands in Pioneer? Well, certain colors don't have... Weird that they didn't do this on their turn. Certain colors don't have Fastlands available. So, like, there isn't a blue-white Fastland in Pioneer. They're a red deck, they always have to tank before having it. Fair. No, there's not. It's one of the things the Moto interface lacks, is providing that information to the viewer. If you want to figure out what game you're in, if you forget while playing, you have to scroll back through the game log. Again, like, one of those things where, like, the interface designers could work together between their different applications to make it more pleasant overall. Oh yeah, that's true. I can click on their timer. Just write game 3 up in there so I don't forget. They put Lightning Strike back on top of their deck again here, so we're gonna get this Sylvan Advocate dead, which is really unfortunate since we drew a 6th land. I'm gonna end step Brazen Borrower, bounce this Heart of Koran, play Brazen Borrower. And I assume Sylvan Advocate's gonna die then. Otherwise, they just do it during my upkeep, so I want to just get my threats into play. Hopefully these Lumbering Falls plus Brazen Borrower can run the distance here. We'll see if they have another Wild Slash to kill the Borrower with here. They still have 4 cards in their hand. Stomp, that's brutal, because it blocks my Lumbering Falls too here. And another land. Yep. Feels like a game of Magic. Stumbled and died the first game, flooding out in the 3rd. Not just dead yet, but heading in the general direction of dead. Another Sylvan Advocate would be a great draw. Ojutai's Command also good. Oh, they're just playing Chandra, sure. Oh, and a blocker. That makes sense. Glorybringer. Scrap heap, sure. Go down to 14 here. Yikes. Hoping for an Avacyn here. They're out of cards at least. Another land. Feels bad, man. Onward, upwards, backwards, forward. Hey, Don Ricario. Thanks for the half a year support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. His hand's a little slow. His hand needs some more lands, but we're on the draw in our 26 land deck, so I'm going to keep it and then concede when we never play a third land. That shilling spreadsheet is intense. Hadn't clicked into that before. Hopefully they play out some more Knights of the Ebon Legion here. We get to, like, deck and stone them. It's not looking good for our hero, chat. It's not looking good for our hero. My body's ready for the third land to be Lumbering Falls. We're gonna draw the third land on turn 4, and it's gonna be Lumbering Falls. That's how this works for people that are new. Sick. We're so good at this. Hashtag sometimes lucky. Rankle, sure. It's just like Teferi bounce Rankle next turn is the play. I think I'm bidding a Spell Queller here. Yeah, potentially missing a land drop definitely means I want to bounce here so we can try and hit 5 on 5. Oh, feels magic, man. There are 3 5-mana spells in my deck. These 3 right here. That's true. That's true. If we survive to find land 5, our hand is going to be super reasonable. Archangel Avacyn's very good in this matchup. Wonder if they'll repeat killing Teferi here or not. I feel like the fact that they killed the first Teferi was real good for us. With the Knight of the Ebon Legion, they could reasonably, like, hit us and make us draw. So that way, they trigger the Knight. Yeah, they're hitting me this time. I think if they would have hit me last turn, we'd probably be in a pretty bad spot. It was a little bit of a gift that they decided to kill our Planeswalker. We'll see if they make us draw or not here. Yeah, they're making us draw. I think I'm discarding Spell Queller. Am I? Nah, I should give up the third Avacyn. Good golly. We do have the option to potentially bounce Wrinkle again. You're not wrong. I think I'm going to Tamiyo tap their dudes. Just start there. And draw Thoughtseize. Fatal Push, yep. Yep. Come on, untapped land. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, they have Thoughtseize too. It's a hard knock life for us. Do 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 do. Beep beep do 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 do. To be fair, all 5 of our spells are good. So if we hit the untapped 5th land, regardless of what they take here, we should be in an okay spot. We can Brazen Borrower, bounce the Knight of the Ebon Legion, trade with Rankle, take 2 for Mutavault. Murderous Rider is their last card. They're drawing with Castle. Huh. That's a decision. I feel like we'd be in a much worse spot had my opponent made slightly different choices this game. Like the fact that their first Rankle, one of their Rankle attacks killed my Teferi. Ha! They triggered their Knight. Land. Thank you. Thank you, deck. I appreciate you, deck. Thank you. Thank you, Magic the Gathering deck. We're not out of this game yet. Like with double Brazen Borrower and they're at 12, we finally hit our land. Like the Spell Queller gets to answer Rankle, and then Teferi gets to bounce it and answer something else. They don't really have a good attack here. I feel like we've stabilized in spite of stumbling here. Yeah, Teferi static text means that they don't get their Rankle back when I bounce the Spell Queller. So he's going to get to counter another spell. I'd like to send that one back from whence it came. Goodbye, Felicia. So I'm pretty sure I want to leave Reflector Mage on the ground on defense. So I'm going to go ahead and attack for 2 here, and then we'll Teferi pick up the Spell Queller. Hopefully find another untapped land so we can Queller plus Borrower on their turn. Perfect. So again, Teferi static text says my opponents can't cast spells while there's something on the stack, so it prevents Spell Queller from letting them recast. Yeah, Borrower cannot bounce your own cards. Cards already pretty insane, would be more insane if it could do that. It's gonna snap the Queller on the first chance I get here. Gives me 2/2s to block these Mutavaults. Sure. I'm going to see a castle draw here. Down to 8. Hit them for 5 here. I think I just Reflector Mage this Bloodsoaked Champion back to their hand, so nothing happens by mistake. We have another Brazen Borrower ready to go. I think if my opponent had played slightly differently, they might have been better off, but they definitely gave us enough breathing room to comfortably win here once we found our 5th land. You've heard some say they plan to abstain if X doesn't get the nomination. Thanks for the 10 months, Terminator. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, I mean, like, to a degree, I understand why those people feel that way, especially like what happened with the superdelegates and Hillary in 2016. From my understanding, like, people are worried that like a candidate like Yang or like Bernie that like hasn't been getting good representation from the media and things like that are gonna get screwed over a bit again this year. Tamiyo's actually probably not very good here, huh? She's like an okay amount of tempo. I think probably not great overall. Is Voice of Resurgence playable in this matchup? Maybe, maybe not. All of these seem reasonable. I think I'm gonna trim 1 Teferi. He's a little bit slow and clunky. Let's bring in more removal spells. Nice, Punchworthy. Isn't the joke, I'm not part of an organized party, I'm a Democrat? I mean, like, and that goes back to, like, what AOC had tweeted today, right? Which is something that we've talked about in the past on this stream, is that in an effort to work within the setup of the current two-party system the United States has, is, like, people, like, in an ideal world, Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders wouldn't be in the same political party. It's like, in an ideal world, AOC and Nancy Pelosi wouldn't be the same party. Do I keep this? This hand's actually quite good if we draw a blue source, right? I'm going to gamble on the draw. I've got 2 castable spells here. I mean, I think it's unfair to say the Republicans aren't organized, to give credit where credit is due, Punchworthy. Like, they're all lockstep falling in behind their leader for the most part. The one that kind of stepped out of lines, like, became an independent. Yeah, I think in my lifetime we could see, hopefully we will see the Democratic Party split at some point and maybe break out of the two-party system that the United States has. We'll see a corporate/centrist party that represents people like Joe Biden, and then an actual progressive party. So they mulled the 5 here, so hopefully even if we stumble a little bit, their hand's not good enough to run us down fully. What would the amount of match win rate data would you consider a sufficient sample size to play a standard brew on stream? I don't understand your question. Most of the decks I play on stream are random brews with little or no testing. A lot of what we play here are viewer submissions. That being said, I'm not taking standard submissions until after Theros drops. Here, taking the week off of standard aside from the event on Saturday. No turn 1 or turn 2. Seems good for us. No blue source on our side of the table. Means that even if they have a slow start, we're going to give them time to recover. Aether Sphere Harvester. That's really good blocker against our flying stuff. Aether Sphere Harvester, in a way, gives all of my opponent's creatures haste. Just because, like, they come into play and they crew this right away. Hey, Rookie, thanks for the 21 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. They're never draw a threat, you know? We died to getting magic last match. Stumbled and died, followed by Flood and Die. But might be experiencing something similar here. Could just have a bunch of answers in their hand, too, though. I'm just casting this to put a threat into play. This was a build around for blue-white tempo, which I decided to splash green into, because Tamiyo was really impressive last time we played. I'm gonna go ahead and play a 2-3 out here, just try and close this game up before they can draw out of their stumble. Their mulligan here. So they're gonna fire up this Harvester. I guess they could theoretically save it for defense. Bovine Intervention. Thank you for the 2/3 of a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. We played a green-white human aggro deck that Splash Collected Company. That felt pretty reasonable at one point. This can only life gain twice, so we should be in a pretty okay spot in terms of racing here still, I think, if they're attacking with this. I bounce the Dread Wanderer, because that one comes into play tap, so I can't crew the Harvester right away, which is nice. A blue-red Eldrazi run back, 10 out of 10 rookie, thank you. Yeah, I think the blue-white core is fine. The biggest drawback or weakness of the blue-white core is it really doesn't have playable 1-mana spells. You'll notice that there's no 1-mana spells in this list. Might get to Settle the Wreckage, this Aether Sphere Harvester. You wanna convince me with empirical evidence that your deck is good? The sample size would probably need to be into the thousands, just because of how much variation there is between matches in Magic. In order to mitigate play draw variance, how you sideboard variance, etc. Yeah, Mausoleum Wanderer is just okay. Moments before the disaster, chat. Just moments before. Settle down over there. Mr. One, thank you for the absurdly generous tier 3 resub, and for the 7th month of that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So they're probably dead. They draw a blank here, they're dead. Kalitas. That's like the opposite of a blank, chat. That one's really good. Something that's important to note in interaction that frequently came up in Standard was because Kalitas exiles our stuff, we actually can't flip Archangel Avacyn while Kalitas is in play. Because our creatures don't die while Kalitas is in play. They're exiled. Their last card in hand is the Dread Wanderer here. So Avacyn has them dead in 2. So this gives all of our stuff indestructible. Dogpile the Cletus. Cletus. Alright, so they're dead. Tough stuff. Mulligan and then flood there a little bit for them. Just their deck. Their deck's definitely looking to be aggressive, and they were not able to piece together a very aggressive 5. Man, sometimes I feel like Karsten's done a lot of really good math articles, but like some of them I just want to be like, duh. It's like someone just linked a Karsten article on my London Mulligan tweet where apparently he ran the numbers and concluded that the London Mulligan benefits decks that want specific cards, or as I like to call them, magic decks. It's like, oh, really? Really, my thing that helps me find certain cards is good for the decks that want certain cards. That's weird. It's like, that's the difference. The one kind of difference I had with like a lot of people who studied math was those, I probably am closer to like physics than pure math as far as things are considered, because a lot of those like, well, we can have this theorem to like prove this thing that's just like not really useful to prove. It's like, why would we take the time to do that? So opponent, Fabled Passage for basic waste. Yeah, so some kind of Eldrazi deck here. Water spells, baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Yeah, a lot of them do punch-worthy. Like thriving on things that are mostly irrelevant to prove. It's like, all right, sure, I guess. It's like, you're not wrong, but I'm not sure how that's relevant. So where they thought not seer my only spell. Feels Magic Man. Alright. Brazen Borrower's not bad. Lets me bounce the Thought Not Seer next turn. Draw a card, maybe counter it on the way back down. A mathematician I know takes pride in his work having no practical applications. We can make black mana at the moment. We are currently 4-color. Send that one back from whence it came. Okay, so we're gonna lose Tef to Thought Not Seer, but that's okay. We're gonna Tamiyo plus on this, so she cantrips, which is nice. If Matter Reshaper, we're dead to Reality Smasher at any point here, is worth noting. If Matter Reshaper attacks me, Tamiyo can lock down Matter Reshaper and Thought Not Seer next turn, which is nice. That's not a Smasher. If they attack Tamiyo next turn, I probably just plus her on both their Eldrazi to try and draw some more cards. Really, they just straight up didn't attack. That's so good for us. Just got a fog out of it. Sylvan Advocate was an excellent draw here. Makes my Mutavault a 4/4. What does this do? It's draw 3 cards, get an Omniscience Emblem. It's pretty good. This is true because if it isn't, then our entire understanding of the world collapses. That's a good explanation. That's super unfortunate. So they had no cards left in hand. Had Fatal Push into Murderous Rider. Are we going to get a run for today's preview events? I have no idea what you mean by today's preview events. So no. Another Brazen Borrower, sure. Okay, we just want to draw a non-Avacyn spell here, so we can cast it. Sure. Yeah, why not? I still don't understand what you're asking, Cryogenics. Are you asking me, am I going to go over spoilers on stream? Is that your question? Because I typically don't do that. That is a wild card. Neat. Their last card is Thought Not Seer at the moment. I'm going to have an article going up on Cool Stuff Inc. Sometime early this week, probably tomorrow or Wednesday, going over spoilers that had happened as of yesterday. Took the time to do a write-up with that over the weekend. I think we're dead here. I don't know if we really have a recovery mechanic from here. I suppose Avacyn could have maybe let me get back in this game here, but another brick definitely does it. Brazen Borrower notably can't block non-flying creatures, so it's not useful in the slightest defensively here. Declaration in Stone sounds great. Settle the Wreckage probably isn't very useful against Thought Not Seer. They get to know it's coming fairly often. Was it possible to bounce their Thought Not Seer in response to its trigger to get another draw there? So if you bounce it in response to the first trigger, Y6, and you draw a spell, their Enters Play trigger just takes your spell away. So that only works out in the event that the top card of your deck is exactly a land. Although I guess that line makes it so the Thought Not Seer is not in play, so maybe that's more ideal. I was going to swap 2 Selfless Spirits for 2 Deccan Stones here. Hey, thanks for the 23 months, Shadow Real. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. seems fine. Bottom Selfless Spirit here, I think. We haven't seen any green cards out of them yet, right? It's just been black and colorless stuff. Someone linked a deck in chat that might be what they're playing. They just had Trophy as a green card in the main. Trophy was the only green card in the 75. Hoping to draw a blue source next turn that's untapped so we can have hold up, cast Brazen Borrower / Ojutai's command. Hopefully they play Matter Reshaper here and we just like send it back where it once came from. Yep. I mean, Mikey, you literally just linked me a deck that has Assassin's Trophy in the main deck. So like, sit down. Don't tell me I'm wrong and then link something that refutes what you're telling me I'm wrong about. I generally don't cover spoilers while I'm live. Well, you know, we got the blue source, got there eventually. Even if they have Thought Knot Seer here, we have double deck in stones. They can take one and we still get to use the other. Conti, sure. So you get to look at the top 4 cards of our deck here, and they take one of them, and they can cast it with spending mana of any color. With the land draw here, especially an untapped land, I think I'm going to go ahead and just deck in stone this Gonti and just try and pressure them out of the game. Because, like, if I find especially a creature land, if I find a land next turn, the Lumbering Falls plus Sylvan Advocate hit for a lot. Yeah, as always, you should reserve most of your judgment on what the new set's going to do for a format like Standard until you've seen all of the cards. They shocked an Overgrown Tomb. Could be a Reality Smasher. Could just be a 2 plus a 3. Swift End, sure. So, if I draw a land here, I actually get to put them to 1. So I get to deck the halls with Balls of Aetherborn. Fa la 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 la. Another Teferi. Okay, I think I just sit on that for now. And we attack them for 2 and hold up Ojutai's command here. Like Counter Murderous Rider, draw a card. We do also know they have a Mana Reshaper in their hand because we had Brazen, what's it called that earlier? That's pretty unfortunate. I do at least have this Brazen Borrower in exile, so once they take my commands here, I can still have a play this turn and not use my mana, but definitely doesn't feel great. Sure, that's a legal play, Zombie. As always, if you want to recommend a play, don't ask me if that play is legal. Instead, tell me why that play is good. Why is it a good play to bounce their clue there? Why is that better than the line I'm taking? Well. Well. Alright. Yep, that happened. That happened. That was the card they guaranteed, for those wondering. I was like, what are they doing? What are they responding with? Alright, so do I want to Brazen Borrower their clue? I think I'd rather hold the Brazen Borrower to impact whatever they put into play here. So I'm gonna hit them for 2 and pass. They want to spend part of their mana for the turn, cracking clue. That's fine. You've always been taught that drawing cards is good. Well, then you were taught very poorly. Magic's a game of a lot of conditionals. In general, hard and fast rules of always do this and never do that are things that are going to lose you way more games than they're going to win you. Most everything is situational. Alright, so they're dead to a land. And even if we don't draw a land, we have Avacyn. Did I just Reflector Mage this? I feel like I just Reflector Mage this. Annoying blue-white cards dot deck. Bounce your stuff. Bounce your stuff. Bounce your stuff. What are lands? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Thanks for the 5 months, Thomas. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Let's do copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. Create a token that's a copy of target creature you control. Neat. Someone had linked a deck list that was very similar to what this opponent's playing that had Assassin's Trophy in it. So I'm assuming their green splash is for something like that. Hey, thank you for the tier 3 resub, Terran. I appreciate that. You're a fan of dragons throughout history. Is that your way of saying you want to bump historic dragons? Is that what that means? Let me know either way. In the end, it doesn't even matter anymore. Yep, perfect Terran Terror, noted. I think I just attack with everything here, huh? Do I attack with Lumbering Falls too? Probably. I suppose if they kill Avacyn in response to her flip trigger, that things get bad for me. Being able to hold up another copy of Avacyn here could be valuable. Because, like, they're going to draw 2 cards with these Reshapers, then they get to draw another card with the Clue. It's like they get a bunch of shots to potentially kill my stuff. They're going out of their way to make sure Avacyn doesn't die here. Or that Avacyn doesn't flip. I think I'm going to kill Murderous Rider rather than Matter Reshaper, just because Murderous Rider has lifelink and it doesn't draw them a card, even though it has less attack here. So they're down to 2. And if they can't kill Avacyn here... If they can't kill Avacyn during their upkeep, they die to her flip trigger. And even if they can kill Avacyn during their upkeep, I have Borrower and another Avacyn lined up. And she flips over. She does 3 damage to each opponent and each other creature. And Murderous Rider doesn't do it because they're at 2, so they have to have Assassin's Trophy. So they can crack this clue. I have trophy lined up already. Yep. I have 1 more basic, right? Yeah. And that trophy there is a reason to maybe be more conservative with my first copy of Avacyn there. Maybe not fire up the Lumbering Falls to hold up another Avacyn. So they have Thoughtseize, then 2 cards I don't know. Thoughtseize and 3 cards I don't know. Because they're at 2, they can't currently Thoughtseize or a Murderous Rider, though, so that's good for us. Yes, you can have both flipped and unflipped Avacyn at the same time. Well, that attack would mean they're dead to Brazen Borrower, Reflector Mage, or Teferi, so it's probably not a very good attack. I think I just pass here. I think I just plan to Avacyn this turn. Am I supposed to Avacyn this turn, or am I supposed to Selfless Spirit plus Borrower? I think I'm supposed to Selfless plus Borrower, actually. Let's just do that. Makes the Avacyn harder to kill. Yeah, two lethal threats. Yeah, much better against a, if they had, like, Fatal Push, they could, like, crack Fabled Passage, push this, and then Edict me with the Blighted Fen. They have Thoughtseize and 1 card I don't know at the moment. So, Reflector Mage get to bump with the Murderous Rider. They go to 4. Brazen Borrower is then lethal next turn. Thanks for the 32 months, Scorpio. I appreciate that. Welcome back. It's a lot more than a whole year. It's a whole lot of years. Coming for that plot of Hoaglandia land. Yeah, but blocking Rider and sacking is very similar. It's just being able to attack them with my spirit. Only I'm down a creature. So I don't think there's a reason to put myself down a creature there. Why didn't I attack with this? Because I'm dumb? Oh, actually, not attacking with this is right. Because they could mirror pool their Murderous Rider and block if I attack with this. So just attacking with these 2 is correct. Alright, on to the 3rd game. Do I want Voice of Resurgence? I guess they have Kalitas in their deck, so probably not. Yeah, I think I'm going to click submit. I think I'm happy with what we did. Drum! Thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Quite the excellent Hearthstone hand. Unfortunately, we need lands to play Magic, so easy mulligan. Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth is the make everything Schwamp's land. Is it crazy you just bottom Tamiyo here? I feel like it might not be crazy to bottom Tamiyo here. I'm probably getting, like, Thought Seized or Thought Not Seared before she can do anything anyways. I definitely, like, want my lands. Reflector Mage plus Spell Queller work well together, because we can Reflector Mage there. 2 or 3 drop back to their hand, and then Spell Queller it before it can come back down. Or when it comes back down. These are my thoughts. Seize as you will. You top-8'd a Pioneer Ike yesterday and lost to no win con blue-white. Rough. This is like my deck of tribal 2/3s. Deal. I would love an acceleration. Ramp me, daddy. Ramp me up. Ramp it up. Yeah, I think we just hold up command at this point, right? Just hang tight. Is it worth playing Mutavault first and shocking to deal 2? I don't think so. That's why I didn't do it. If they don't do anything this turn again, I might just, like, pick Sylvan Advocate up, draw a card. Do we have any more slot? We might. We might. I have to look. Opponent missing colorless mana. So this is a 2-for-1 no matter how you slice it. You get to get this back plus draw a card here. And start attacking for a lot. We have Selfless Spirit in play to protect the Advocate here, so we're going to crack them for like 8 to 10 next turn, because Advocate is currently active. Is it worth it to play out Reflector Mage proactively here? Probably. I think the answer is yes. I guess if they have, like, colorless land Thought Not Seer, nah, that's still okay for me, right? Because my Advocate can attack through that. Advocate does a good Goyf impersonation. So they know about this other Reflector Mage. What are spells? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. No more. I'm expecting Sylvan Advocate to die here and them to go to 4. Maybe they'll just be dead. But they could have shocked this in to play Murderous Rider, so I assume Advocate is dying here. Yeah. So they're at 4, but we're out of gas. And they have lifelink things. Yeah, that's really good. It's also pretty not bad. Pretty not bad. Top deck hero. Bum 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 ba da dum bum. Doot 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 doot. Yeet it. Yeet it. Yeet it. Yeet it all the way across the battlefield. Chat. Hashtag sometimes lucky. I think we're on the draw here too. We're on the play. Can I talk myself into keeping this on the play? I probably could. Thanks for the 11 months, WeMax. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I've got all my colors. Let's just like draw a 2 or 3 mana spell. It'll be great. It'll be great, chat. Super exciting. These are my cards. This is actually excellent for us because it means once we draw a 2-drop and a 3-drop, our opponent will know how lucky we are, and they'll tilt off for the rest of the match. It's a real heads up skill play. Letting them know how lucky we are. Actually, it works out quite well. Can borrow something and Ojutai's command something. Oh, are you sad at Turtle Witness? I can give you some attention. I got you. Thanks for the 19 months. Welcome back. I think I'm just playing this and attacking Sorin down. Alexa, please set a timer for 10 minutes, right? They can sack a vampire to kill my Brazen Borrower next turn, but I think I'm okay with that. Hopefully they give us a creature to counter plus draw a card here. Oh yeah, I need to avoid saying things like that. Usually I'm good about that too. Apologies. We're gonna get some YouTube comments on that one. I'm just snapping this off. I want to get a 2-for-1. I want to use my mana this turn, so. We're doing our best at our 5th land on curve here. Archangel Avacyn gets to kill Sorin next turn. Nykthos in their deck, sure. It's ambitious. Sure. They know these Avacyns are coming. The Avacyns are coming! The Avacyns are coming! True scumbag streamer move. Before an ad break, make their thing, set a timer for 2 minutes to continue watching. Okay, so definitely playing Selfless Spirit. The question is, do I want to deck in stone something as well? I feel like the answer to that question is yes. Of course, they also just have mana available this turn. So, like, they just get to crack the clue right away, which is a little bit less appealing. Wow, that's brutal. Grasp was real good there. Okay. Have a game, as they say. We laughed at the Nykthos, but the Nykthos just did some real work there for them, huh? Allowed them to filter the Mutavaults in a roundabout way. Hey, brother, draw vamp. Kalidas, another draw vamp. What is a 5-drop? Gray Merchant, sure. Less scary than the draw vamp. Lets them trigger their night, though. Yeah, but I mean, like, they probably play Urborg, too, to be fair. And, like, they're both legendary lands, so there's something to be said. For playing one of each. Opponent is now clueless. Another double black card here. Is this Cletus? Cletus! Let's quell down over there. I think I just pass here. They know about this other Avacyn, because the Thoughtseize earlier saw Tamiyo, Avacyn. Another Gary here. There's the draw vamp, yep. That's pretty scary. There's a little pretty high life total. Do Declan and Jake get 10 minutes timeout? To set an incredibly low bar, my 4- and 5-year-olds tend to be better behaved than Twitch chat. Welcome back, witness. All right. Well, we're just on the race them plan at this point, just like hoping they don't have removal spells, I think. I've got Mutavault and Lumbering Falls that can both be fired up. Although I guess if either of those die, Avacyn flips over and they get their Sorin back, which is not, like, super ideal. If Mutavault dies, Avacyn doesn't flip. Huh, did I just fire up Mutavault? They have like a Fatal Push here. If they have Fatal Push, they can push Spell Queller and then sack a Vamp to kill the Avacyn. Which is why they attacked with the Grey Merchant. Opponent played this really well. Flipped Avacyn deals 3 damage to my opponent and each of their creatures, or all of their creatures in play, and she's a 6/5 flyer. But it doesn't matter because she's not going to flip here. I think we're probably dead. I don't know that we really have a recovery mechanic from this point. This deck doesn't really contain traditional card advantage. We're mostly a tempo deck. It's like once we fall behind in a position like this, we can't catch back up. Why does the land flip? Not flip the angel when it dies? Because Avacyn has text. Extra Deccan Stone sounds good here. I think I just want more cards that play to the board. I think I'm going to board out these Spell Quellers. Give this a go, see how it goes. Sure. If we hit a white source, hand is very good. Have 1 castable spell without it. It's a good amount of white. This deck's base blue-white. We have 8, 9, 10, 11, 15 white sources. We have 2 draws to hit a white source in ideal timing. If we hit it by turn 3, we should be fine. Perfect. I think the upside of this hand, should we hit white source, is pretty high. Hey, Stratocaster, thank you for the half a year of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Give our opponent some time to reflect on what their Knight of the Ebon Legion is doing with his life. We've not had any good Tamiyo games yet so far today, have we? Yeah, it's our 4th match now. Apologies again, but that is funny. He'll be more conscious of reading things like that on a chat in the future. What are lands? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Already taken care of, Witness. Already taken care of. I see you over there, Hippity. I see what you're doing. We are not impressed. So, a lot of our spells are good here. Hopefully, we get to keep Tamiyo and we draw a land and then we draw a bunch of cards. Tamiyo might just be the take here. All the rest of my cards are kind of similar. Tamiyo's the unique. Fatal Push. Okay, yep. Yep. Well, Tamiyo's not so useful now, huh? I think I'm going to shock that in so I have the option to both Petty Theft and Deckenstone this turn since I plus Teferi. I think I just Stone Rain this. Hey, Kasi, thank you for the 2 months. I appreciate you re-upping. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Chirp. Chirp. Have Brazen Borrower eat this clue. It's a good pickup. Send that back from whence it came. I guess Gifted Aetherborn with a 1/1 counter on it here can hit Teferi to dead. I suppose. What are the Thoughtseize? Don't do that. I like my Tamiyo. Kalitas, yep. They could sack Aetherborn, kill my Reflector Mage, get a zombie token here. Feels like they still might do that. Yeah. Oh, I shouldn't have tapped off both my white. We're going to draw Deckenstone and be real sad. For that. Feel like we're dead here. One, two, three, four. So they can play a 5-drop here. So should have had this in play. They're being aggressive. I like the being aggressive with this. It triggers their knights here. If I had put this into play, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just move to the 5th game, 5th match. If I had put Selfless Spirit into play last turn, I could like Borrower plus Borrower this turn and like pressure this and maybe have something we could salvage there, but tapping. I think we're in a bad spot regardless, and like tapping off and being able to play a white spell there definitely put me further behind than I was going to be able to recover from. Just kind of autopiloted tapping my 3 lands to the right when it definitely really mattered. Yep, we're currently 2-2 after a little bit of mistake in that one and then close loss in the first one. See if we can get our $7 back. Yeah, that seems great. Sign me up. No turn 1 or turn 2 play from Double Basic Mountain. Wonder if they're playing like the Big Red style deck. Yeah, it looks like it. What a difference the play versus the draw makes, huh? Reflector Mage. If I could stack my deck there, Reflector Mage is the card I would put on top. Get this dork out of here. Multiple devices do not accrue multiple shillings, no. They have a Wild Slash here as well. Alright, no Wild Slash to Saving Grace. That's good for us. This is an excellent draw with the fact that we've already got 6 lands set up here. 4/5 is real big against the red deck. Hoping to dodge Banger here. They don't have a Lightning Strike here. We get to time Raveler, bounce the Spell Queller next turn, effectively eat the Rabble Master. Never lucky, chat. Never lucky. The flashing token is distracting. Listen. Moto's had a hard life, okay? Moto is doing the best with the cards it's been dealt in this life. Cut it some slack. That bad control player, thank you for the 1.5 years of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Borrower means that Cleveland isn't too detrimental here. So if they attack with Rabble, Reflector gets to get in the way of that, which is nice. So next turn I get to go 6 land, play Sylvan Advocate with double Mutavault activation up. Sure, you got it. They have 2 cards left. And I think I don't use the Brazen Borrower aggressively here because I want it in the event of Cleveland shows up. Yes, Castle can pump their creatures is relevant, for sure. Pioneer looks great besides our society crumbling down. To set a low bar, 2020 should be better than 2019. Thanks for the tier 3 for the 13 months, Misfits. I appreciate you keeping me around. I think I'm going to fire up both Mutavaults here and, like, go eat trade over here. I guess if I trade, my opponent could have a Lightning Strike to kill my Sylvan Advocate. Is bad for me. Yeah, maybe this is wrong because it exposes my Sylvan Advocate to Lightning Strike, which was something I was trying to avoid. Hey, Justin Mack, thanks for the 45 months. Coming for that castle. They like debating killing my Mutavault here. They have like a Wild Slash. Yeah. That's pretty good. Morning extras. It was a good weekend. I don't really have a great answer to this Chain Whirler at the moment. I'm probably bouncing it with Borrower. Oh, I should have attacked there, right? That was a free attack. I missed 2 points of damage. Whatever. That's a real banger. So, if they attack with Rabble Master, it's a 4. Sometimes you have to minimize it and reopen it again. You can also type exclamation point deck in chat to get a direct link. Okay. Oh, I can deck and stone at instant speed. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can. The countdown begins, Punchworthy. What if instead of being a banger, you were a clue? And then what if we Brazen Borrower this Chain Whirler? Then like next turn we Teferi bounce the Rabble Master. Remember that time I missed 2 points of damage? Pepperidge Farm remembers. There are no more scheduled ban list announcements. So every Monday could be a general ban list update. Just oh, that was definitely the card that could potentially drag us kicking and screaming back into this game. We get to Spell Queller, a Chain Whirler here. And then these borrowers get to start deploying. Maybe they'll look at what's been going on in Modern and they'll just be like, screw it, let's burn it all to the ground. And they're like, we're gonna ban Mox Opal, we're gonna unban Splinter Twin and Birthing Pod. That might also be wishful thinking on my part, but that's where I'm at in life. I think I just pass here, right? We just like double Borrower. What time are these things usually? So a normal ban list update would have happened already. Of course, we haven't had a ban list update since they're unscheduled ones. So I don't know. The Pioneer updates have been happening in the afternoon. So maybe they're going to move all their updates to the afternoon. I'm really surprised. Yeah, I agree, Punchworthy. Ojutai's Command is a card that stood out for me so far today. Ojutai's Command, especially with Reflector Mage and Teferi Time Raveler, are both very reasonable. So I feel like Selfless Spirit's an easy cut here because they're a Chain Whirler deck. Aether Gust and Deckenstone both sound great. Do I want this much removal? Maybe I don't want 3 of each. Or 4 and 3, just go 3 of each. Seems fine. Seems fine. Let's do it. I will buy fetches if they unban Pod and get rid of Opal or Urza. Yeah, we're supposed to definitely be getting a Pioneer update today. 2 weeks ago, they said the next Pioneer update would be on January 6th. And then they said after that, after January 6th, Pioneer would just be wrapped up in with the rest of them. So we're basically just like gusting anything they play here. If they don't play anything, we'll Brazen Borrower the Soulscar Mage. It's a shame I don't have Mutavault in play, because if I had Mutavault in play right now, I could, and they played Chandra, I could like Brazen Borrower, end step, untap, attack it with Mutavault. Well, they don't have a land. That's so good for me. With double Borrower in the air, we should be able to race them pretty readily here. That's a sweet one. I think I just do that. Just like Tamiyo plus on both our guys. This doesn't trigger on abilities. So even if they have like a burn spell to finish Tamiyo here, she'll still have drawn 2 cards because Brazen Borrower is going to draw a card when it hits, and then Bone Crusher will draw a card when it hits Tamiyo. Hey, Galdriel, thank you for the 3/4 of a year. I appreciate you keeping me around. Advocate's a good one if we can find a 6th land. Oh, this is... Okay. Yeah, that's a reason to not do what I did here. I still drew 2 cards, but like getting Chain Whirlered there is pretty devastating. Yeah. Yeah, that was like actual worst case scenario. When did it all go wrong? It started going wrong a while ago, but Modern Horizons definitely cemented the level of go wrong. Please play a Glorybringer. I think we're dead here. Maybe I should have just held up like Borrower plus double Gust this turn and waited on the Advocate till next turn. Yeah. Yeah, tapping out for the Tamiyo went, like, pretty damningly wrong. Chain Whirler was pretty brutal. So they have 9 damage here. They bottomed the Abrade, so I assume they have something else that kills this Advocate. Or me? Am I dead? Oh, we're dead to runes next turn. Yeah, good call. Yeah, tapping out for the Tamiyo. Just got way too punished by the Chain Whirler. I should have been thinking about that. Thanks for the 10 months, Pylon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Against the Abrade Lightning Strike deck, I don't think I can keep that hand. This is similar, but I guess we're keeping it at 6. We'll bottom the 3rd Queller. This has more spells than it at least. Morning symbol. What bans do I want today? All the mana elves. Take every 1 mana accelerant out of this format except for maybe Goose and just get them gone. Grazer, Mystic, Land War Elves, just ban all of them. I think as long as those cards are legal, they're going to be constantly banning around them. I think I want to hold that Petty Theft here, in case they have a 2-drop. What would it take for me to play Mono again? They need to ban Mox Opal and unban something else. So I clicked on the subscribe button and it said my sub token balance is 0. What's a sub token? They're things you can basically pay money for in advance to use to sub to streamers later. I think it's some kind of workaround for Twitch on mobile for various like App Store rules that exist. Thanks to the 18 months, Tron player. Welcome back. Elvish Mystic was printed, I believe, because once upon a time they wanted to move away from cards having plural card names. So they didn't want a card to be called Land War Elves, plural, from my understanding. Alright, let's set up this house of cards, huh? Hopefully they don't have another Lightning Strike or a Braid and we draw Teferi next turn. Would be ideal. If they have an Abrade here, just this all comes crumbling down and we're probably dead. Yep. Wait. Did they just, like, not cast their... I think they fumbled the Moto interface. Or did they shock stop me? No, it doesn't say on an adventure. Yeah, I think they goofed and accidentally didn't cast their thing. Awkward. No, I don't think that's worth it. That's why I just said I would ban Mox. I don't know how to answer questions like that other than sarcastically. I just said what I would do. So obviously the answer to your question is yes. That is how I feel. Let's see if they have a Wild Slash here. If they don't have a Wild Slash, we get to kill Chandra. I'm just going to put this into play tapped and pass since I drew a Borrower here. So they can trade Mutavault for the Lumbering Falls and keep their Chandra alive for a turn. Because they can activate Castle to make this a 3-2. Really? Didn't want to trade? Okay. I think we'd probably... I guess this game would be close if they had the Giant. Like, we'd probably be forced to deck and stone the Giant, then they'd be up a card. That's pretty good. Because I wanted to attack it to death. I wanted to be able to untap and attack the Chandra for potentially lethal. Yeah, they might have just forgotten about the castle. If I bounce the Chandra on the turn you're implying I bounce it, they can replay it the following turn and like down tick and kill my borrower. Yeah, Chain Whirler is really good against our deck. In a format where Brazen Borrower is omnipresent, which I guess is every format, huh? The card's just like super playable everywhere. Chain Whirler is quite excellent. A lot of miscellaneous things it just kills. Alright, I think we're dead. You'd like an Avacyn here. Okay. Alright. Alright, that'll do. That might even be better than Avacyn. No, Castle is just all creatures you control. I did not bring in Voice here. They do have a lot of damage in play, and like they get 2 draws next turn, and like even if they're both blanks, Chandra does 2 to me. Yeah, Soul-Scarred Mage makes the 4-5 a lot worse than it otherwise is normally against red decks. Unfortunately, I'm just not at a high enough life total to not block here. So if they have like a Wild Slash or a Lightning Strike or an Abrade, we do lose the Sylvan Advocate, but... Okay, well, we're dead on board. It's gonna take them a few turns, but we are technically dead on board. We're dead in what, 3, right? I guess if they draw brick, Tamiyo means the Sylvan Advocate races the runes. But they have to draw brick, right? Well, I guess if they're casting spells, they then aren't using the runes, so that could be okay, maybe. Because Tamiyo gets to lock these down for another cycle, right? If they don't kill her. So, like, this plus Lumbering Falls is a 9-ball. Yeah, it's pretty good. So what happens if I fire up Lumbering Falls here? Am I dead on the backswing? So on the backswing, I'm taking 1, 2, 3, 4, and then runes kills me. So I can't fire up Lumbering Falls. So if they draw brick this turn... Yeah, we're one. If we draw an untapped, if they attack with everything and I draw an untapped land, I could fire up both Lumbering Falls potentially. I think we're probably dead here though. If we had like a Mutavault in our pool of lands, we might have been okay if we had double land attacks already, but there's still the efficiency as of right now. Hey, Murky, thanks for the 2/3 of a year. Sure. So, we're dead. They activate runes at end of turn and then untap and runes us again. Close game, even considering they misclicked on a Bone Crusher Giant. I don't know. This deck's playing a lot of cards that I like, but it seems like it's probably just a little bit too slow and fair. Sylvan Advocate, Sylvan Advocate was good. Sylvan Advocate with Mutavault was great, but overall, this definitely felt a good bit worse than it had felt in the green-black kind of mid-range rock-style deck that we were playing. There's probably a very reasonable chance that, like, the only mid-range decks that are going to be playable in this format are going to be the Rock Thoughtseize decks, especially depending on how brutal and fast everything else is. Eyeballhead, thanks for the 12 months. I appreciate the year. All right, so that's going to be it for Pioneer for today. We're going back to a little bit more normalized stream schedule moving forward. So my approximate plans are 2 Pioneer Leagues every morning, followed by 2 Arena decks every afternoon. All this week, we're taking the week off from Standard because Standard's a little... not really excited to play it, so we're waiting for Theros to drop before doing more Standard. So we're going to be doing Historic every afternoon this week. I'm going to go ahead and hit a quick ad roll while I get set up with some Arena. We'll be back in a few minutes with some Blue-Red Storm and Historic. Thanks for hanging out today, folks.